Day 6 of New England Patriots training camp, and let me tell you, these wide receivers are really starting to come together, and they're actually giving me hope for the Patriots offense this upcoming season. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. I appreciate you guys for clicking on today's video to hear me talk about some Patriots news. And what else would we be doing other than talking about a New England Patriots training camp recap? Again, today's day 6, but this is the second day of pads, and this might be the most that we've had to take away from a training camp so far. There is a lot that we got to get into. We are also going to be talking about the whole Matthew Judon drama, the rumors, everything that's currently going on in a live video. Hope to see you guys there today at 5:15 p.m. Of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news if you have not already. Leave a big like on your way in because it really does help support the channel when you guys do leave a like, share the video, and comment in the comment section below. And if you really want to go that extra mile in supporting the channel, consider checking out the products below from Fanatics. So it's completely safe, I promise. When you guys do click those products below and you buy it through that link below, it actually does go to support the channel. I make a small commission when you guys buy it with those links below. So basically how this would work is you see these little icons below of Patriots merchandise. And let's say you're like, I want to get a Drake Maye jersey. I can just click on this link and support Patriots Global. What that's going to do is it is going to take you literally, look, straight to Fanatics. You can buy it straight from here. Right now, you're getting free shipping. They have a lot of deals going on right now, too, and it completely supports the channel. So, like I always say, if you're going to buy a Drake Maye or a Javon Baker, Jalynn Polk jersey anyway, consider doing it below because it does go ahead and support the channel. But let's just get right into today's video. Guys that were absent or not participating: Kendrick Bourne. No surprise there, but it does look like he really is getting closer and closer to returning for the Patriots. Jaheim Bell was his first absence so far. Cole Strange, David Andrews with yet again a second consecutive day not participating. It wasn't said that he's dealing with any type of injury. He didn't have any injury scares, so I don't know. It's kind of ironic that David Andrews just isn't participating when the pads ironically go on. I wonder if they're saying, you know, you're in your 30s. We just signed you to an extension. You're a big part of the offense under Alex Van Pelt. We cannot have you get injured. So when it comes to pads, we're just not going to throw you out into the fire. You're a veteran. We know you're going to be fine when the time comes. But Jake Andrews still not at practice for the Patriots. Matthew Judon. Yeah, you heard that right. Matthew Judon absent today after the fiasco that we saw yesterday with Matthew Judon at Patriots practice, but not participating. He was holding in, then getting into it with Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, then leaves practice. Today, he is just not at practice at all. Christian Barmore not there for obvious reasons. Sione Takitaki still out. Marte Mapu still out for another day. And then Jabril Peppers, this is his first absence. You know, he's had a couple of concerns with his hamstring or just kind of cramps overall. So looks like they're kind of just giving him the day to kind of come back from whatever he's dealing with. But limited. Demario Douglas, he continues to be a limited participant really throughout the entirety of training camp so far. Like I mentioned, fully padded practice for the Patriots yet again for a second consecutive day. Now, Juju Smith-Schuster also did have a bit of an injury scare. He left practice early with some type of left leg injury. It wasn't reported that he came back, so that is an injury, of course, to watch. Not that I think most of you guys care, because I think the majority of Patriots fans don't really want Juju making the roster anyway. But moving on to the quarterbacks here, 11 on 11s. Let me switch up this real quick. But 11 on 11s. Jacoby Brissett was 5 for 11. Drake Maye was also 5 for 11. Joe Milton was 3 for 5. Moving on to 7 on 7s. Jacoby Brissett was 2 for 4. Drake Maye was 3 for 4. And Bailey Zappi was also 3 for 4. Now, Jacoby Brissett had a really bad underthrow for what should have been a 50-yard touchdown to none other than, of course, Javon Baker on a post pattern. Now, don't let that discourage you. Jacoby Brissett has easily been the Patriots' best quarterback, and he has been getting better each and every practice, looking more and more comfortable. Right now, I don't really think there is much of a race on who's going to be at least your week 1 starter. Right now, it is clear and cut Jacoby Brissett. Now, Drake Maye did have a really nice dropped pass into the absolute breadbasket to KJ Osborne on a go route in one-on-ones. Drake Maye also did, though, have a bad miss to KJ Osborne for a walk-in touchdown during red zone work. Now, both Jacoby Brissett and Drake Maye did struggle towards the end of practice with their accuracy. Right now, what I'm seeing with Drake Maye is really everything that's advertised. I mean, from the good and the bad, everything that's advertised. The only bad thing that I haven't really seen get in the way is his footwork. That was a big problem with him. And so far, we haven't really seen that kind of hindering him. It's really been the opposite. It's actually been much improved. But when it comes to his accuracy, there's days where he's just putting passes exactly where they need to be, being extremely, extremely accurate, making pros that all pro quarterbacks right now are making. But then there's days where he's just overthrowing guys and just missing wide open receivers. But Joe Milton and Bailey Zappi today were going back and back and back and forth with who was going to be that third quarterback. As I mentioned in 11 on 11s, Joe Milton was the third quarterback. 7 on 7s, though, Bailey Zappi was the third quarterback. Now, Joe Milton did get a couple reps today with the starters, which I think is a good sign for him. He ended up throwing a touchdown pass to Jalynn, Polk, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Right now, I would say Joe Milton definitely has the edge over Bailey Zappi in terms of who's going to be the quarterback 3. Quite honestly, just have not really heard anything from Bailey Zappi during training camp so far. A couple of nice plays, but for the most part, Joe Milton is definitely outperforming him. But moving on to the running backs here, Kevin Harris did have a fumble. That's something that definitely could bite him in the butt as time goes on. There's one thing that's going to kill your chances at making the final roster, or if you're in kind of a battle, which Kevin Harris is for that running back 3 spot, the worst thing that you can do is fumble the ball. So that's something that definitely is going to go against him. That's something that's going to linger. But if he can, come back and have some good runs and not let it get to him, then he's definitely still in the race there. Ramondre Stevenson did rip off a really good run today in 11 on 11s. Antonio Gibson beat Raekwon McMillan today with ease in a one-on-one rep. Now, Kevin Harris did have that fumble, but he also had a really nice run from what was reported in 11 on 11s. And then the UDFA running back Terrell Jennings ripped off a good run also, where it looked like he was going to be stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing was there, and he turned it into something. Overall, I know we haven't gotten a lot necessarily about these running backs, but from when we do hear something, it's all positive. And it sounds like, yes, the offensive line and the combination and the starters and the pass protection and these wide receivers and the quarterbacks, they're definitely a work in progress. But this running game is looking really, really good, all the way from Ramondre Stevenson to Antonio Gibson to Kevin Harris, Terrell Jennings, JaMychal Hasty. And for a team that is going to primarily be a run-first offense, that is exactly what you want to hear. Moving on, though, to these wide receivers, though. Drops today, you had Juju Smith-Schuster and David Wallace with one. I heard that the Patriots wide receivers were, having issues with drops. And again, I feel like every day we're hearing at least 1 or 2 receivers having drop issues, but I wouldn't say it's been necessarily a big problem per se. It's not like we have, every single starter dropping 1 pass. It just seems like we're getting on average maybe 2 drop passes per practice. Not something that I'm personally freaking out about too much just yet. Now, Demario Douglas did participate in team drills today for the first time so far this summer, which is a good sign for him. Jalynn Polk today in one-on-one matchups went 3-1. He continues to stand out. He also made a touchdown catch in 7 on 7s over Marco Wilson on a ball from Jacoby Brissett. Nicely thrown pass on a back corner fade from what was reported. Now, Jalynn Polk later on had another touchdown catch in 11 on 11s on an out route. Demario Douglas hauled in a nice downfield pass, from Drake Maye in 7 on 7s. Javon Baker just continues to stand out with his highlight plays again. If Drake Maye was able to hit him earlier on, he would have had a 50-yard touchdown catch, but he still smoked Sean Wade in a one-on-one rep. Unfortunately, Bailey Zappi overthrew him also. Feel bad for Javon Baker. Seems like a lot of opportunities for him, but these quarterbacks were just missing him today. Now, KJ Osborne still making some really good plays. He hauled in a deep pass from Jacoby Brissett in 11 on 11s. Juju Smith-Schuster hauled in a downfield pass from Drake Maye in 7s. Tyquan Thornton starting to stand out. Even with the pads going on, he torched, and I quote, torched Marco Wilson in a one-on-one rep. Overall, today, Tyquan Thornton was undefeated in his one-on-one matchups, going 3-0. Jalen Reagor also made a nice catch in one-on-ones on a ball from Bailey Zappi, and Kayshon Boutte made a nice sideline grab over Marcus Jones in one-on-ones. It was a really, really good contested catch, just a good pass, and Kayshon Boutte really working through contact to make the catch. It was a great pass, great ball placement, but an even better catch by Kayshon Boutte, and especially against somebody like Marcus Jones, who has been really, really good for the Patriots so far throughout training camp, been really dominant, been really physical. So again, today, these wide receivers were just really standing out and making plays. Before we continue on today's video, though, getting on into the tight ends, the offensive line, and then the defense, of course, let's hear from today's sponsor. Hey guys, sorry to cut the video real quick, but I had a very important question that I had to ask you, and that is, have you ever Googled yourself, or maybe a friend, or maybe a family member Googled themselves and saw their private information being used? Maybe like their name, their phone number, their social security number, their address, maybe their credit card information? God knows I have, and the only reason that I was able to find that and take care of it was because of today's sponsor over at Aura. So what Aura is an identity protection service, and what they do is they go ahead for you so you don't gotta do the hard work, and they scour the internet for any of your information being used illegally that you didn't want them to use. The other great part is that they'll monitor your credit. They'll see if your phone number is being used to robocallers, which if you don't know what those guys are, they're essentially the ones that call you about 5 times a day. Because little do you know, these data brokers are actually trying to sell your information to robocallers, to spammers who are trying to find out your own personal information, such as where you live. So what Aura will do is they'll essentially send you an email or notification saying that, hey, someone's trying to use your phone number. Someone's trying to access this information about you. Do you want us to delete it from the web? Fortunately, in today's society, a lot of threats that we all face on a day-to-day basis come online. And unfortunately, the scary part is that we can't always see it. Aura's going to come in, protect you, protect your family from threats that we can't see and we don't even know are coming. So hey, look, you guys can go right ahead and let people exploit your own private information, or you can go to the link in the description box below and pinned in the comment section below to go ahead and sign up for your 14-day free trial over at Aura. Yes, guys, make sure you go ahead and check out Aura. Like I mentioned, a free 2-week trial. If you guys really just want to make sure that you're safe, your friends are safe, your family is safe, and you just want to sign up and make sure that your information isn't out there, or you just want to get it removed quickly and then stop your free trial, that's perfectly fine. You can always just delete it a day later. Helps you guys out. Massively help support the channel out when you guys sign up for them. So definitely consider link in the description box below and pinned in the comment section below. But moving on to these tight ends, Hunter Henry today, we got actually a good amount of news here on the tight ends for the first time, but Hunter Henry had a red zone touchdown from Jacoby Brissett today in 11-on-11s. Austin Hooper also had a nice win today versus Kyle Duggar in one-on-ones, which really goes to say a lot because Kyle Duggar is looking like 2022 Kyle Duggar throughout training camp so far, looking really, really good. So the fact that Austin Hooper was able to beat him is exactly what I think Austin Hooper needs to really solidify himself as tight end 2. Now, Mitchell Wilcox getting into the mix a little bit today, too, especially with Jaheim Bell out. Had a nice game today in 7-on-7s on a bootleg pass from Drake Maye. Right now, Mitchell Wilcox 100% winning that tight end 3 job and that tight end 3 race over Jaheim Bell. Moving on to the offensive line, though, first team offensive line is now the same as it's been, the last 3-4 days now. Caden Wallace, the rookie, repping in as your starting left tackle. Sidy Sow repping in as your starting left guard. Nick Leverett is your starting center with David Andrews out. Michael Onwenu at right guard. And Chuks Okorafor over as your starting right tackle. Now, again, let's not get too comfortable. The Patriots are trying a lot of different combinations. In a couple days, by next week, we could hear that it's a complete different combination. But I would say so far, this is the best combination that we have seen so far. The only downside to what we've seen from this combination is, ironically, Chuks Okorafor is struggling big time since he moved over at right tackle. And I said this yesterday, I'm very surprised that he's struggling because, again, played left tackle in college, but he hasn't played left tackle since college. Throughout his time in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers as a starting right tackle for them, he's been very solid over there. And so far, since switching back there with New England, he just has not looked good. And if he continues to play this bad and the Patriots want to start Caden Wallace as their starting left tackle this upcoming season, Chuks Okorafor could be a guy who is a surprise cut, and maybe they end up having to kick Michael Onwenu out to right tackle. But second team offensive line today did struggle quite a bit in the run game. We didn't hear who the second team offensive line was, but again, we just do know that they did struggle. Michael Onwenu, though, absolutely dominated today in his one-on-one reps. No surprise there. Caden Wallace did struggle a little bit in his one-on-one matchups today, though. He lost to Josh Uche, O'Shane Zimenez, and Morgan. I don't know who Morgan is, but I think it's John Morgan. But Caden Wallace yesterday, when the pads were on in his one-on-one matchups as a left tackle, was looking really good and won against Josh Uche. So kind of in an up and down couple days for him the last few days at left tackle, but is definitely looking better at left tackle compared to what we saw at right tackle. And then Layden Robinson looked really, really good today in his one-on-one matchups yet again. Moving on, though, to the defense here. Josh Uche with a sack. Keon White had both a quarterback pressure and a run stuff. Dietrich Wise also was looking really, really impressive today with his win over Calvin Anderson in one-on-ones. Dietrich Wise is going to be such a pivotal piece to this defense this upcoming season with potentially the loss of Christian Barmore. Who knows what's going to happen with Matthew Judon? So he's a guy that is definitely going to have to take on a much bigger role. Now, speaking of Keon White, he was undefeated today in his one-on-one matchups going 2-0. Now, O'Shane Zimenez and Tristan Hill both got reps with the starting offense or starting defense today, with a lot of guys on the defensive line missing: Christian Barmore, Matthew Judon. As for the linebackers, Christian Ellis put on a big hit on Mitchell Wilcox today that was able to force an incompletion. Now, Christian Ellis is more of a special teamer, but if he continues to perform this well, maybe gets into the rotation a little bit on defense. And then moving on to these cornerbacks here, Shaun Wade with the pass breakup today, Marco Wilson with the pass breakup, and Isaiah Bolden with the pass breakup. Christian Gonzalez absolutely blanketed KJ Osborne so badly today on a one-on-one rep that the ball from the quarterback was just never thrown. Today, Christian Gonzalez winning both of his one-on-one matchups. The fact that the quarterback just didn't even hesitate to try and pass the ball really speaks to how good Christian Gonzalez performed today. And then a little bit of news on the rookie 6th-round pick, Marcellus Dial. It was said that he smothered Juju Smith-Schuster today on a one-on-one rep. Marcellus Dial been very quiet, so I don't know if it's, hey, Marcellus Dial starting to look good, or if it's that, Juju Smith-Schuster just is not an NFL wide receiver at this point. But as for the safeties, Josh Bledsoe had a pass breakup today. And then lastly, a little bit of news on special teams. Your punt returners today were Jalen Polk, Demario Douglas, KJ Osborne, Jalen Reagor, David Wallace, and Marcus Jones. And that is going to wrap up your day 6 recap for the New England Patriots training camp. What were your guys' biggest takeaways? Let me know in the comment section below. Consider buying some of those products from Fanatics, and of course, signing up for your 14-day free trial with Aura to make sure that you, your friends, your family, your loved ones are all protected from the threats we all face online. But guys, I appreciate you all so much for watching. I will catch you for tomorrow's recap, but most importantly, never forget, go Pats.